Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the MoviePass Pod, the unofficial podcast of MoviePass. We are a father and son team on a journey to try and watch 100 movies in theaters with the help of MoviePass. I'm the father on the father and son team, and my name is Keith.
I'm the son, and I'm Noah.
Today we have a very special episode for you.
Yes, very special.
Very, very special. We're going to be reviewing Black Panther. First of all, we'd like to apologize for the sound quality. We're actually driving down to the Jordan's Furniture in Reading, Massachusetts to watch Black Panther in Imax. Technically, we're not using our movie passes today because you can't use them for Imax, but who cares? It's Black Panther. It's a huge movie.
Yeah.
Every movie podcast is going to be talking about it, so we don't want to miss out. And we definitely wanted to watch it in IMAX because they shot some of the scenes in IMAX. So what we're going to do is talk about a few things. We're not doing any MoviePass news or fact of the show or stuff we saw. We're just going to talk a little bit about Marvel movies. We're going to talk about our expectations for Black Panther. And then on the ride home, we're going to discuss our review. So that's going to be the show today.
Yeah, so this is actually going to probably be more of a Disney-oriented episode of the MoviePass Pod because, it's all Disney because it's only Black Panther, and we have a very rich history with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ever since its inception, we've been seeing them in theaters all the time.
Actually,
whenever we can.
Yeah. Well, for me, actually, it started with the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I had seen a few of the Marvel movies in theaters, but Avengers is what got me really hyped. So leading up to the Avengers in 2012, which I can't believe that's 6 years ago now. That's insane. I watched all the movies. Oh, I think we watched them all together mostly.
Yeah,
at home on Blu-ray or DVD or some sort of streaming. And ever since Avengers, we've seen every movie in theaters.
Yeah.
That's really what got our history or our Marvel juices flowing, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, because we saw Avengers in, the closest theater to our house, the largest screen is called RPX. It's like IMAX knockoff, basically. Yeah. So we saw Avengers in RPX. Did we see it opening night?
Yeah, we did. We saw it on a Friday night. It was opening night. A lot of movies open Thursday nights now, but at that time, I believe it was still Friday nights. But we saw it in the Regal RPX, otherwise known as, some people call them Limax.
Yeah.
You ever heard that term?
Yeah, I have. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it was probably one of, if not the greatest movie experience I've ever had.
Oh, me too. The crowd was going crazy. Everyone was cheering and laughing.
Yep.
I honestly can't think of a better time that I've had at the theaters than seeing Avengers opening night. It was awesome. People were dressed up. I'm not sure if you remember, but you actually lost your phone there.
I do remember that, yeah.
It fell out of your pocket.
Yeah, it fell between the seats.
Did we end up finding it?
I think the theater called us later and they said they found a phone.
Okay.
And it was actually mine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So that just goes to show how exciting it was.
Yeah. So, like I said, we've seen every movie since then. Sometimes a lot of them are on Netflix now, so you can watch them.
Mm-hmm. And if you check our letterboxes or letterboxds, I don't know what the hell they call it.
Letterboxd.com.
Yeah. If you check our accounts on there, we actually have them. You have them ranked. I just have them reviewed. You can check each of our review of each Marvel Cinematic movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't write reviews, but
just ratings.
Yeah,
just like star
they're all
ratings.
Ranked.
Yeah.
What is your favorite Marvel movie?
Well, after I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it just left such a fun impact on me because I loved the first one.
Yeah.
Then after that, so originally, or right after I saw Volume 2, I said that was my favorite, but then you reminded me how great of a time I had with Avengers. So honestly, I'd have to say Avengers is the best Marvel Cinematic movie.
Avengers is number one for me, too. It's actually my favorite movie of 2012. I've listed every year since like 1980.
Yeah, you definitely love to make your lists.
Yeah. They're not on Letterboxd yet. I am planning on doing that eventually, but I know for a fact that Avengers is my favorite movie of 2012.
Yeah.
You know, some of my other favorites, Guardians as well. I do love Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was really fun.
Yeah, it's not one of my top favorites, but you know, Iron Man 3. I really like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, that was actually great too.
Yeah, but we've seen all of them, including the bad ones. So
Yeah.
Thor: The Dark World is pretty rough. I have no interest in watching that again.
Yeah, I agree.
Iron Man 2. I know a lot of people think that's underrated, but nah.
I don't know.
That was just a huge setup for the Avengers. That's basically all it was. Plus, also, you know, the Captain Americas are some of my favorites. The Winter Soldier, Civil War, those are excellent movies as well.
Personally, I know how much love Winter Soldier gets. I mean, I don't see it. I mean, I still liked it, but people rave about that movie, and I don't know why.
Not a big fan?
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I prefer Guardians of the Galaxy, personally.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of the MCU. I love everything about those movies.
Sure. And this year, there are 3 Marvel movies. We have Black Panther, we have Avengers Infinity War coming out in May, and then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which drops in July.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to all 3 of these movies. It's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you probably watched the Infinity War trailer, and it looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
I know you have problems with some of the special effects, but I can understand. But I'm sure they're going to get that cleaned up. And, you know, I feel sorry for the scriptwriter for that movie.
I know.
Because there's like 70
How are you going to balance all of that, really?
I know. It's going to be crazy. But it'll be interesting to see. Because they're saying now that it was originally supposed to be Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2, but that's not what they're calling it anymore.
No. I've heard that.
It's just Avengers Infinity War and then Avengers Untitled at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, honestly, I'm a little worried because they're splitting it into 2 parts.
Well, but we don't know that. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Okay. I guess I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Either way, I highly doubt this first Infinity War is going to be they beat Thanos and that's the end of it.
Yeah, most likely, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just worried that the first movie's going to be all set up with no payoff, and then the next one's going to be all payoff with no setup.
Yeah.
I mean, we may have to rewatch the first Infinity War before we see the second one.
Right.
If that's the case.
Right. Have you rewatched any of the Marvel movies before today?
I have not, actually.
Yeah, either did I.
I thought about it, but I don't know.
I wanted to go in fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I remember those pretty well. So I didn't really feel like I had to go back and watch them.
There's not much else. And the thing is, the reason when re-ranking my MCU list, the reason I put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at the top originally is because you really got to have that theater experience, because not that recently, but a little while ago, I rewatched Avengers.
Yeah.
And it honestly doesn't hold up that well.
No, I haven't watched it.
Like, the comedy doesn't hit that great. I mean, the special effects are still amazing, but
yeah,
and just the dialogue is a little rough. So the older MCU movies actually don't. I mean, they're still pleasant for what they are, but they don't hold up that great, which is why I'm liking these newer ones a lot more.
Yeah. On that note, Disney did announce that they're making their own streaming service. So we were just discussing before we started recording how all this is going to fit into it. You know, a lot of these movies are on Netflix right now, and they've already said that they're not going to renew that contract. You know, you can watch Civil War, or there's a bunch of other Disney stuff on there, Moana, but they're not going to be on Netflix anymore. They're going to be on the Disney streaming service whenever that starts. And how are the R-rated movies going to fit into that? Because none of the Marvel movies, actual Marvel studios owned by Disney, are rated R. The ones that we get that are rated R are like Logan, Deadpool. We're going to get Deadpool 2 later this year.
Yeah.
And I really don't want those movies to go away with the Fox Disney merger. If it goes through, I guess there's been some setbacks. Comcast is trying to get in there somehow. So we're not 100% sure that the merger is actually going to go through. But if it does, I hope Disney doesn't nix these R-rated movies, because I've mentioned this on the podcast, but my favorite movie of 2017 is Logan. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love that movie, and I love Deadpool too.
Yeah, I mean, Deadpool's hilarious, and Logan, I've heard it described as a Western, which I love. It's awesome. And that's what I'm worried about with Disney, is they're putting their, I mean, understandably, they're putting their business model in front of artistic creativity, which really worries me, because there's a lot of things that an R-rated movie can do better than a PG-13 rated movie. And if this streaming service comes out, I mean, what are they going to do? Is it going to be all family-friendly content?
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Disney puts out some great content, but are we not going to have Logan? Are we not going to have Deadpool? I mean, how's that all going to work?
I know. Deadpool is not going to work as a PG-13 movie. I don't want to see a PG-13 Deadpool.
God, I know.
I want to see R-rated. I want to see
him cut a guy's head off and crack a joke.
I'm curious how much better the Wolverine would have been if it was R-rated too, because that was the original plan, but Fox nixed it.
They backed out because they were scared.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Deadpool, isn't it still the highest grossing rated R movie of all time?
I'm not sure.
Well, at a time it was. At a time it was.
Yeah.
So this just proves you don't have to make a PG-13 to destroy it at the box office. Just let it flow, Disney.
Yeah, I know. But so those are unanswered questions. Well, first of all, it's not 100% unanswered, because Disney has said that their streaming service is going to be
all family friendly.
Yeah, there's going to be no R-rated content on there, so we know that at least for a fact. So there's not going to be any Deadpool on there.
Nope, no Logan. I mean, you could find other ways to watch these movies, but
yeah.
But if I'm a consumer and I'm thinking about moving from Netflix to this Disney streaming service, that's going to play into it bigly.
Yeah, I know. Also,
sorry to quote Donald Trump there.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a word.
You know, this is Sony, but we have the R-rated Venom coming out this year.
Yep.
With
that looks so awesome.
Incredible cast. The New Mutants, which was supposed to come out this year, has been pushed back to next year. Mm-hmm. And that looks like a really horror-related tone.
Horror thriller.
I would much rather see that if it was rated R. If it's PG-13, I don't know if I really even have any interest in seeing it. So,
yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if maybe that came into play with why it was pushed back, or I'm not sure if that's because of this whole Fox-Disney possible merger too.
Yeah.
But, you know, Disney's not going to make a horror New Mutants movie, even if it is PG-13. They just won't do that.
No.
So
they're going to bog it down. And I mean, Disney has some, quote-unquote harder series, like Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, although that's PG-13.
Yeah.
There's some moments in it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think every Marvel movie's been PG-13.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. All right.
And, I mean, just one last quick thing. This is definitely going to gut Netflix. I mean, how much of their content is Disney or Fox, 20th Century Fox related? You know?
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean,
movies.
Yeah. Disney or Netflix hasn't wanted to create their own stuff for a long time, though. I mean,
yeah.
They have 80 movies coming out this year, which is insane.
Yeah.
Think about that, 80.
Oh, man.
Like, a normal studio produces, 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Netflix has 80.
Yeah,
Plus,
so, I mean...
We'll see if it hurts them.
It's
too early
exactly.
to tell, but,
exactly.
Yeah. They might lose some subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop watching Netflix.
Oh, no,
anyways, but... So, yeah, that's Disney's new streaming service. We're going to see how that plays into the Marvel Universe and beyond.
Yep.
What are your... So, in our last episode, you mentioned
briefly touched on
Black Panther. You said that you were scared about the special effects.
Yes, because I saw a clip that was premiered on, Jimmy Kimmel or Ellen, or one of those shows, I don't know. And the special effects looked like PlayStation 2 graphics.
Oh.
So if you don't know, that's a video game console from 10 years ago. So, I don't know. I mean, you said is it final? And I actually don't know. I didn't even look into it.
I didn't know that. You didn't mention it was on Ellen or Jimmy Kimmel. So if they're going to premiere it on that, then it should have been final.
Yeah,
so that's a little worrisome, I guess.
And I mean, these movies cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make, so that's something that's going to play into my expectations for Black Panther. I saw that one clip.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's final. I'm a little. Although that was just one little fight scene that looked terrible. I also saw another clip with Andy Serkis, his character in it, that actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Andy Serkis. That's his name.
Oh, what did I say?
Serkin.
Oh, Andy Serkis. Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm personally really looking forward to it. We went above and beyond our MoviePass and bought tickets. So
yeah.
To Imax. Like I said earlier, we usually only go to 1 or 2 movies a year. I'm really looking forward to Black Panther. We went above and beyond and bought tickets outside of our MoviePass subscription because they don't accept IMAX at this point. I've heard that maybe our plans to offer a higher subscription rate, and you can see 3D in IMAX. But on the seacoast of New Hampshire, where we both live, there's no IMAX theaters, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
The closest ones are Saco, Maine, Hooksett, New Hampshire, or Reading, Mass, and those are each about an hour away. So if we're gonna watch IMAX, we gotta drive an hour plus.
Yeah.
And this one at Jordan's is the biggest one out of all 3. It's a 70-foot screen. It's massive.
Yeah.
And I did hear that. I listened to a lot of the Twitter Live Black Panther Q&A. And they did mention that Kevin Feige was there, the president of Marvel Studios, and he mentioned that they did shoot a lot of these scenes in IMAX, so you will see the screen change.
Cool.
Which, I think our first experience with that was maybe Interstellar?
Yeah, either Interstellar or Pacific Rim or Godzilla.
Yeah, and you do notice the screen changing at the beginning of the movie, but
eventually you get used to it.
Yeah, it just blends in.
Yeah.
And so you don't even notice it once you're 15, 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, so that's something I'm looking forward to about Black Panther. I didn't know that some of it was shot in 70mm, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, and the cast is amazing. We mentioned that last week.
Yep.
And
Andy Serkis. Who else?
Chadwick Boseman.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he's already being called possibly the greatest Marvel villain. We'll see.
That's something I'm definitely hoping for.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to mention this in the upcoming Marvel, but it's no lie. Marvel has had some trouble with villains.
Oh yeah.
Just absolute garbage.
Yeah,
and what the hell was the guy in Civil War?
Yeah,
Just a guy with a Russian accent? Give me a break.
And a lot of times, Michael B. Jordan is, one of the greatest actors of his generation. Out now.
Absolutely.
This is his 3rd time working with director Ryan Coogler. They worked on Fruitvale Station, which I have not seen, and then we saw Creed, which is an awesome movie too.
Creed was awesome.
Yeah. They were both at the Q&A too.
Cool.
Nobody asked really any hard-hitting questions, so you didn't really miss much.
Yeah.
I actually asked, how does this fit into the Marvel Universe as far as the timeline? Because I'm really curious about that.
Did they answer it?
No, they didn't. There was thousands of questions being thrown at them, so... I don't know. I haven't heard any spoilers for this movie at all.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'm really curious... because if you remember the end of Civil War, Captain America was in Wakanda.
Yep.
They took him there to kind of hide him out. So I'm curious if he's going to be in this. Although, like I said, we don't know the timeline. So
that's true.
This could take place, years before Civil War or whatever. Maybe it's him becoming the king of Wakanda. Which actually, I didn't mention this to you, but I read some of the Black Panther comics leading up to this.
Oh, that's right.
Just a few, but apparently to become king, you have to fight your way to the top. So that's what T'Challa did in the comics. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right.
I think it's right, T'Challa.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what he did in the comics, and So other than that, I didn't really glean a lot from the comics. and I don't know how it's even going to relate to the comics either. It could just be a totally new story.
Yeah.
But the U.S. is, I guess you could say, not really skeptical, but kind of worried about what Wakanda is, because in the comics they say they're the most highly developed nation on Earth.
Oh, okay.
But nobody, only the NSA in the comics knew that.
Okay.
And this was just, I only read one set of comics. There could be a different set or a different time, not timeline, but could be a different series with a different story. I don't know, but all right. So we're heading down to Jordan's Furniture in Reading, Mass. I'm really looking forward to it. It starts in about an hour. We're going to watch it, and we're going to drive home, and we're going to record our review.
Yeah, and I'd say personally, I'm a little on the fence. I don't know. I've heard everyone loving it, but I'm a little bit more skeptical. But I will say I'm going to go in with an open mind. I mean, it's a Marvel movie, so I usually enjoy myself with those, and it's Imax, so I'm not looking forward to it, or not gonna think that it's bad. I'm just gonna go in and I'll formulate my thoughts when I see it. So we'll talk to you soon.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky.
Yeah.
But I have never seen anything like this. How much more are you hiding?
Hold up. Let's go.
We are home. My son, it is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
The revolution will not be televised.
Show me my respect and bow down. We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I'm a homie. Cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. The revolution will not be televised.
Let's have some fun.
The revolution will be live.
All right, we are back from seeing Black Panther in IMAX. After getting some quick dinner, we are now in the car on the way back home. And, well, what did you think, Dad?
Does it live up to the hype? Hell yes. I just want to apologize straight off. We don't have any notes and it's dark out. So this is all going to be off the cuffs kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do a more note-driven review or just a quick recap in our next episode.
Yeah.
But this is just going to be our initial thoughts. I don't know if I'm shell-shocked, but this Arrival is one of the best Marvel movies for me. I loved it. I mean, I love the whole thing. I love the plot, the storyline. We saw it in IMAX, and the show was sold out, so we got there a little, not really late, but we were in the back of the line,
Yeah.
And we sat in the second row of a 70-foot screen with 600 people. So some of the action was kind of distorted.
Yeah, a little hard to follow because of our positioning.
I definitely want to watch it again. Just sit in the back, relax, take it all in, and maybe enjoy some of the action more.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't as stoked as you were, but I would say it was way better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, I do kind of. I will echo some of your thoughts about the special effects, and I'm not sure if that had something to do with where we were sitting, but spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, I guess we should have said at the beginning. This entire part of the podcast is going to be all spoilers.
There's a lot of the movie is CG. There's no doubt about it. A lot of it is,
and you can tell.
Yeah, I would say especially there's Black Panther versus Black Panther fighting.
Yeah, that's basically what it looks like.
Yeah, and it's just not fluid. I guess I don't know if that's the right word, but you can tell it's CG.
Yeah, it's a little jarring.
Yeah, and I think that's something that they need to work on. They've had problems with this before. We're passing a
massive accident right now.
Oh, someone's being wheeled into an ambulance.
Very exciting edition of the MoviePass Pod.
Yeah. FYI, we're on 95 North in Massachusetts. Just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
So that's your initial impression that.
I'm very pleased with it. Way better than I was expecting.
Good. And I had high expectations, and
it met them.
It blew them away. That's very rare for me, to have high expectations and
have it pay off.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd was into it, which was great. There was a lot of applause after, which always helps the experience.
Yeah, I would say the experience is what made this movie for me. I mean, we had people just dying laughing in the crowd.
Yeah, there was a lot of good comedy in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Michael B. Jordan was wasted at all. He's excellent.
Yeah.
I wanted more of him. He's not in much of the first half of the movie.
No.
And I've actually heard some criticisms of the movie that I didn't know that's what it was, but people like the second half better than the first half, and I can see that. And
yeah, I would definitely agree.
I wonder if that has to do with Michael B. Jordan. But I loved the plot line, the dichotomy of the fact that is what he's doing right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're listening to this, you've already seen it, but he wants to give Wakanda the world. He wants to help underprivileged black communities, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Or not just communities, but countries.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to give the Wakandan technology to those people.
Yeah.
And is that wrong? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think the problem comes from the way he's going about it.
Yeah, he is monstrous, and he comes across as evil.
Because he doesn't just want to give the technology and resources, he wants to give the weapons to the oppressed to fight back their oppressors.
Yeah, but is that wrong?
Well, I mean, I don't want to get into politics too much, but to say that they're fighting quote-unquote oppressors, what is that really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a comic book movie, but it reflects real life a lot. It's very heavy-handed with the politics in this.
Yeah, that's really not clear. I'll admit that as well. I mean, who is he? Because they talk about delivering the weapons to London, New York, Hong Kong. So, who is that?
What black communities are oppressed in Hong Kong?
Yeah,
forgive me if I'm being ignorant.
I thought that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they said that, so
I think it's more of like an uprising. So I think he even said that
they have spies there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of like a quote-unquote Wakandan uprising or something like that.
But who was he uprising against in Hong Kong?
I have no idea.
Chinese? Communism?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little unclear his goal, but for once, thank God, for once in the entire Marvel history, we have a villain with a motive.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think Loki's motive is pretty good too. You know,
that is true.
The fact that he found out he was adopted, and you know.
Yeah, I guess it's similar to Loki's.
Yeah, it is.
Motive, where it's like the whole idea of birthright and all of this, and family struggle.
Yep. It kind of mirrors it, and I didn't even think about that when I was watching it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it until I just said it.
Yeah, same here. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess that's just where a good motive like that can come from.
Yeah.
Rather than this just whole, I hate the world, emo nonsense.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually built into the character development. Like I said before the break, I don't even remember the bad guy's name in Civil War. I don't even remember a damn thing about him.
Yeah, think about like Thor: The Dark World. That's by far the worst Marvel villain they've ever had.
Yeah.
And this one, they got a big name actor. You know, he's not only a big name, but he's a good actor too. Mm-hmm. And he's, like I said, he's not wasted.
Yeah, and I think what helps is it's not one of those save the world scenarios. I mean, necessarily.
Right.
Like, it's not like there's a bomb about to be detonated and they need to stop
it. Technically is, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. It technically, like, the world's not going to end. Like, it would. They were trying to stop a war from happening.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't trying to stop the world from being blown up, and that definitely helps. Because I'm sick of that.
Yeah, I know, so am I. And we talked about this when we were eating right after the movie, that one of the, you know, I like Iron Man 3, but a big problem with that movie is where are the rest of the Avengers?
Yeah.
In this story, it's believable.
Yeah, it makes sense that there are no Avengers.
Yeah, because nobody knows about Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're trying to hide it.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have, you know, the Avengers come and help out and try and beat Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character, because nobody knows about it.
Mm-hmm. It's an internal struggle. It's really condensed.
Yes, which is great.
It's believable.
This, I don't know how. I mean, like Infinity War. Where are they going to go from there? Because that was another. I don't know. I wouldn't really call it a problem, but one of the issues that we also discussed was that why doesn't anyone know who Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa is? He fought in the Civil War. He was at that UN bombing when his dad died, the king. But in the movie, nobody knows who he is. I mean,
well, is that explicitly stated?
Yeah, because when they go to that Korean underground casino.
The lady didn't know.
The lady was like, "Who are these people?" And he's an Avenger. He should be one of the most famous people in the world.
I guess that's true.
I mean, maybe some old woman in Korea might not know who he is, but I don't know. I feel like people should know who he is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was just one small thing.
Yeah, it's just a nitpick. It's nothing big.
Yeah.
And it's not even really relevant to the plot. You know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of unexpected comedy in this movie, which is really what went past my expectations and made me enjoy it, is because I thought it was just going to be like I mean, every Marvel movie has its comedy, but I thought it was going to be...
Except for Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. That's the reason I was worried about Black Panther, is I thought it was going to be this serious, maybe not gritty, but I thought it was going to be too serious, and it turns out it's actually really lighthearted, and that's a really pleasant surprise.
Yeah, the woman who plays his sister, the princess, Letitia Wright, she's kind of like Q from the Bond movies. I immediately thought that.
And there was even someone behind us in the theater when she was showing off all the gadgets, so I was like, oh, it's like James Bond.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I was thinking it as they said it.
I know, so was I. She creates all these gadgets.
Yeah, and at the same time, she's really funny as well.
Yeah, she's probably the biggest comic relief in the movie.
Yeah,
I would say.
absolutely.
They tried to make Andy Serkis funny.
Yeah, it didn't always land.
Yeah, it definitely didn't always land.
It was a little over the top
Yep.
at times.
Yep. I wasn't expecting him to get killed,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
but they did it, and he's done, I guess, in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, so much for that, I guess. It's kind of like Bryan Cranston in Godzilla.
Yeah, right.
But at least when Andy Serkis's character dies, the movie doesn't start sucking.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just nitpicking here. Like I said, I love the movie, and I'm not kidding when I say it's rivaling my number one for Marvel. But there's a couple of exposition moments, that are clearly exposition. It's like,
yeah, now that you bring it up, yes, this movie is very expositional heavy.
yeah. I mean, some of it is not neat.
Yeah.
I would have rather have not had them do that or shown it in a different way.
Yeah, like in the beginning, it's just pure exposition immediately. Like it's T'Challa as a boy saying, "Tell the story, Papa."
Yeah.
Basically, like saying, "Explain this to the audience, Papa."
I didn't really mind that too much.
Well, yeah, exactly. The thing is, I mean, Black Panther, even if you like these Marvel comic book movies, I mean, who the hell knows who Black Panther is?
Yeah.
I mean, how popular of a character is he? So you need to learn about Wakanda.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, even though I even read some of the comic books, and I could have used the beginning, and I like the way that they showed it. It's all CG.
Yeah.
But I thought it was cool.
It's this like cute, like stylized, like in the movie, the way that they're quote unquote holograms and all that stuff. It's like this weird black dust sand thing,
Yeah.
and it's this intro built out of all these models telling a story built through all of those like dust model things. So,
And that's the story of Wakanda.
yeah,
How
exactly.
how vibranium got to Earth, and how they got to be so powerful and technologically heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
And there was another scene that kind of bothered me a little bit too, where Michael B. Jordan is looking. They have these special flowers that when they grind it up and drink it, you get the power of the
Black Panther, like the goddess or something.
Yeah, so you get some special strength and whatever. That's never really explained exactly what that is. That wasn't my problem though. It's just that one of the people on the side fighting Michael B. Jordan happened to be there right before he burned all the plants. So she was able to grab one.
Yeah.
And then so that kind of bothered me because
Oh, really?
it was so convenient. She just happened to be there right before they burned it.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, wasn't she?
She was going there to get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, and then the convenient timing, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Timing.
I can see that. That didn't bother me, but I can see that.
If she got there 5 minutes later, then it would have
that
been
would have
too
been screwed.
late.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Another nitpicking is the size of the basically like how Wakanda comes to be is a giant vibranium asteroid collides into Africa. But the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure an asteroid of that size would like kill all life on Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
Maybe that was the one that killed the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Because they said it was
Maybe,
millions of years
yeah.
ago.
Even though the globe they showed it crashing into was not like Pangea, it was modern day continents, but
Yeah.
it's just nitpicking. It's a comic book movie. I didn't care.
Yeah. I definitely see that point, though.
And I mean, going more into it's a comic book movie. A lot of the whole like philosophy of like how Wakanda comes to be is like, oh well, because of this vibranium asteroid, we're all geniuses and we live in harmony.
Yeah.
And everything is great. I mean, that's not necessarily how that's going to be.
Yeah, I actually thought of a similar point while we were watching the movie, that none of these people leave and tell other people about this
Yeah.
place. Nobody does it.
Exactly.
I mean, there's millions of people living there. It's
Yeah.
a huge place. You know?
Yeah. And they just kept it a secret this whole time.
Yeah.
And that's even one of the earliest scenes where Black Panther and I can't remember her name. The greatest warrior that they have. Like, she's this female warrior.
Okay, they called her general, so that must be her rank.
Okay, yeah, the general. And, they save this, like, group of these women, and then she says, don't tell anybody about this. It's like, for thousands of years, how many times has that happened? And you're telling me nobody said anything?
Yeah, because in the comics, Wakanda was built up, like, to advanced technology levels in, like, the 10th century. So they've had this stuff for literally thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess that would be 1,000 years ago, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a comic, so you gotta give it some breaks.
Yeah, exactly.
I also wanted to mention how the box office projections for this movie, like, going crazy. It's insane what's happening. I mean,
yeah,
we've been to this IMAX theater, I don't know, maybe a dozen times, maybe not quite that many, but and I've never seen it like this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We went
packed.
We went to Rogue One on the same day of the week, Saturday, around the same time, afternoon, and it wasn't like this.
No,
I mean,
definitely not.
It's insane. And their initial projections were huge. They were like 100 to 125 million. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
You know, for a February superhero movie of I don't know what you want to call Black Panther.
Like a C-list.
C-list. He's
hero.
He's A-list now, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But then it got bumped up to the 150 to 165 range. Now they're saying it might make over $200 million. I don't know what it is. I know the critics love it. It's like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's getting a lot of good buzz. But to bump from 120 to over 200 in a matter of days, that is insane. I've never seen anything like it.
You'll have to excuse us there. We've been so invested in talking about Black Panther, we got lost for a little bit and had to find our way. Definitely go see it if you like Marvel, even if you don't. It's one of the better superhero movies out there. If you can see it in IMAX, I was very pleasantly surprised. A lot of it is shot in 70 millimeter, which makes the action just that much better, having it that full box frame. So definitely go see it. If you're listening to this, you've probably already seen it. But let's say you haven't seen it in IMAX. I'd say it's worth an IMAX viewing.
One of the things we talked about when we immediately left the theater was that this didn't even feel like a Marvel movie.
No, definitely not.
It just felt like I don't even know
how to describe it, really.
Yeah. The ending kind of seemed like a Marvel movie. I'll say that. But even that, the final battle is something we had not seen in a Marvel movie, but it felt more Marvel-y, I guess.
Yeah.
But the whole movie just felt like, this is bad, but I don't even know.
Well, it was unlike any Marvel movie I've ever seen. I mean, even including things like the soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the way that they combine, like, the heroic, like, trumpet and the orchestral music, and the way they combine with, like, the rap beats as well. It flows great.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that too. That's something you don't see a lot. I mean, there's rap in it. There's the Weeknd and Kendrick Lamar's song "Pray for Me," but there's also,
like heroic orchestral music.
Yeah, that's composed.
Yeah, and it's really fresh. It's a real fresh take. It's nice.
I think that'll do it for our Black Panther review for today. Like I said, we might talk a little bit more next week when we can get our thoughts together. It's hard to review a movie immediately after you watch it.
Yeah.
We haven't done that before. I mean, actually, you watched the Cloverfield Paradox, so technically we have done it. But we're looking for, if you have any suggestions or comments, if you like the new advice or fact of the show, MoviePass stuff, or if you hate it, let us know.
Please leave a rating on whatever you're listening to this to.
Yeah, you can find us in a lot of places. We're on Twitter at the MoviePass Pod. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/the MoviePass Pod. We'd really like to get more likes on Facebook because I don't know, without paying, how to reach other people. It's really hard.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of Facebook activity, unfortunately, and I don't know how to correct that without paying for the service, and I'm not sure I really want to do that. So Please like us on there or leave a comment or something. Or, actually, more importantly, share one of our posts with your Facebook friends. That would really help us out a lot. Send us a tweet of something that you'd like to see. I don't know. If there's something you want to know about MoviePass, I mean, we don't work for them, but we know a lot about it just from doing this podcast for the past few months. I've learned more about MoviePass than I ever thought I would. We're on tons of sites: SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. Our main site is the MoviePass Podbean.com. You can find all our episodes there. And we just started a new WordPress site where we're going to be chronicling our year. Or if MoviePass makes it, we'll keep going. But just the 100 movies.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment or like our page. You can email us at themoviePassPod@gmail.com. Find us both on Letterboxd. I am letterboxd.com/KeithNH72.
And I'm at letterboxd.com/NOJOSWAG.
And I've converted my Letterboxd page into our official MoviePass Pod Letterboxd page for whatever that's worth. So like us on there. We always follow back, and I always like to read other people's reviews as well. We're probably forgetting something because we're on a lot of places.
Yeah, that about does it for our Black Panther review.
Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
You know I ride again. It's all the same. Tell me who's gonna save me from myself.